Hello, possums all over the world. We are Offensive Points, brought to you by the Fantasy Six Pack channel. And today we are doing our breakout candidates for the 2026 season. Hit. All right. We have the NFL draft roughly like 27 days away. Spring has sprung, guys. It is 2026 NFL football season. We are getting you prepped for drafts coming up. We got rookie drafts coming up. Draft season starts all throughout the year I've already done a couple drafts, so trying to get my juices flowing here. But this is the time of the year that's amazing. I just cut my grass for the first time. That's kind of, the best day in the world. It is the fucking Catalina wine mixer for lawn people, the first mow of the year. We got the Masters coming up in a couple weeks, and we got breakout candidates tonight. Josh, Billy, how's it going?
We also got Tiger Woods playing golf again, although it is in a sim league. And Joe, I owe you an apology. You said it's a sim league, and I was like, what does that mean? You're like, it's like simulator. And I was like, oh, that's lame. And then I saw the setup that they had for that. That's really cool, actually. I was like, okay, it's not just like some guy standing in a back room, like hitting their ball and then like, I don't know, Skyping their friends. I hit it further than you. But no, that was pretty interesting. I saw they were like, Tiger Woods is playing golf again. I was like, oh, for real? And then I was like, oh, like sim league. What the hell's that? Yeah, Joe's my go-to guy for anything golf, which is helpful.
That's pretty cool, man. That green comes around. There was a lot more trash talk last year, but I think they kind of muted the mics a little bit for that because
that might be smart. Live mics can always be a little bit of an issue. We've had our share of issues with live mics. We get a Billy dog bark every once in a while, maybe some laundry going on. I don't know. It's all kinds of stuff. Like real world stuff happens here.
Yep. No laundry tonight.
That's good. That is good. Well, before we get into it, we did get the schedule announcement today, and a little bit of a bone to pick. They are doing the first game of the season. Of course, it'll be the Seahawks, but it's going to be on a Wednesday night. How do we feel about a Wednesday night NFL kickoff game?
I feel like the NFL is just trying to get wives more into football or like agreeing with it, because I feel like I got to tell Kristen, I'm like, so there's a Wednesday game, there's a Thursday game, they got Saturday games this week. Like I gotta watch these, and like I can't. We're not making plans. The Eagles play on Thursday or Wednesday or whatever it is. So yeah, it's just them trying to get an extra buck, which is fine. But like, as long as we don't make this a solid thing all the time. The good thing is the Wednesday team will get like a really extended rest week as long as they're not playing on Thursday the next week, true. Which I imagine they wouldn't. So I guess they get an extra day. But yeah, I don't know, man. At this point, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, earlier in the week, the better. I want football every night personally, but I think the NFL saw what Offensive Points live shows were pulling viewership-wise, and they were like, hey, we need a piece of that cake, so let's throw a game on Wednesday night.
I was thinking the same thing. There's
one day closer to us being closer to the football season, so that helps. Shades off the back end.
It's actually true, too. There will still be a Thursday game. It's being played in Australia between the Rams and the 49ers. But I guess because of that, they have to switch up the first game to a Wednesday. And it's whatever. I guess at least we're getting more football. I guess that's, in more days, I guess. That's the point there. It doesn't. But tonight, we are doing 2026 breakout players. I know we're doing this prior to the draft, but we like to prognosticate this early so that we can be more wrong faster. We'll know if we're wrong because we'll know in, 6 months when they sign somebody or draft somebody if we're going to be wrong anyway. So I like just, calling our shots now. That's what we're doing here with breakout players. So, Joe, who is your first breakout player of the 2026 season?
Oh, man. Okay, I'm going to lead off with one I'm pretty passionate about here, and that is Jaylen Waddle. He is currently going as wide receiver 24, 47 overall, so the price is fair. But this dude just got traded for a first-round pick. Now, we saw Stephon Diggs get traded for a first-round pick, went on to have a wide receiver 2 overall season. A.J. Brown went on to be wide receiver 6 overall, and Tyreek Hill was wide receiver 3. DJ Moore was wide receiver 6. This is a first-round pick that they just traded for a guy named Jaylen Waddle, who's going to go to Denver. he's going to take the 104 targets from Troy Franklin, the 51 from Marvin Mims, and the 49 from Pat Bryant. Not all those, obviously, but he's going to get absolutely fed in this offense. He's going to operate as a true alpha. Cortland Sutton profiles way more as a wide receiver, too. And he gets a significant quarterback upgrade with Bo Nix and a coaching upgrade, might I add, with Sean Payton, because as soon as Mike McDaniel came over to Miami, he was kind of like, Jaylen Waddle? Fuck that. Let's get Tyreek Hill. And definitely put a damper on the continued Jaylen Waddle breakout that we were hoping for. But this is a huge quarterback upgrade. He's still young. He's 27. This is a phenomenal time to acquire Jaylen Waddle in a trade. His price definitely went up, but people aren't correlating this with massive success, and the blueprint is there. It's been there, and I think it continues with Jaylen Waddle.
It's crazy to think that Waddle is going for that much of a discount, which now that might change as we get closer to redraft season. I imagine he will probably bump up a few slots, but just even to be in that range is crazy considering what he did his first 3 years in the season. I mean, literally 1,000 yards every season plus some on a couple of them. So, yeah, no, I think this is a no-brainer. Finally gets to play with a quarterback that's like at least playoff caliber. I mean, to say the least, like healthy, hopefully, with Knicks. And so, yeah, no, this is just sky's the limit at the moment. And I can only imagine that these targets that he's getting, even his 100 targets that he got last year, are going to be more accurate because it's not Tua or backups throwing him the ball the whole time. It's Bo Nix. So now Sutton, I think, cuts into his workload a little bit, and I think that will be the one driving force in keeping him lower in the rankings. But I think at the end of the day, he'll bump up a bit. Just as we get closer to draft, people get more excited. See some Waddle Knicks highlights in preseason.
It's true. Waddle to the moon. I'm right there with you, Joe. I think the Broncos are going to have a really fantastic season this year anyway. Like, I have a ton of futures of them to win the Super Bowl. I just feel like all of the stars are aligning because Mahomes, I love that he's coming back with the whole ACL video where he throws and throwing and all that, which is fun. But we all know he's not going to be the same. So I think the Broncos are going to be able to win this division this season. And I think Waddle is going to play a massive part in that. So, yeah, good call.
Wide receiver 11, higher or lower for his finish this year?
I'd say in that ballpark. I don't really have I'd say lower, probably just because I think
I would say lower, but not by much. I think that Sean Payton will finally like to have two wide receivers that can break the game at the same time. So I think that's possible.
Yeah, I don't know. Right now it's Pickens, Nico Collins, and Olave, 9 through 11, being drafted right now. I guarantee you he beats all those guys.
I'd say Sutton finished as like wide receiver 14 or something like that. So like I imagine that we just vault at least into that position. So that's kind of what my brain was at. If anything, now you got two guys that can go out there and make the play, and also you still got people that are going to get the ball as well, and Marvin Mims and Troy Franklin, and isn't there another one too? Like it's a pretty crowded room, but
Pat Bryant,
yeah, Waddle will be on the field 90% of the time, so I don't think that's going to be a problem.
And plus, I think it's underrated. Like QBs, especially like the younger ones, do tend to get better year to year with a good coach. And so, like, as what we saw from Bo Nix last year, he should be better this coming season. And you give him a better weapon, magic can be made.
I was going to argue Bo Nix for a breakout, but I really don't think it's a breakout. I mean, he's had two really good seasons, almost 4,000 yards in both of them, and, obviously some mistakes with 10-plus interceptions in both as well. But if the run game for him stays the same, I mean, this whole team could go to the moon, outside of running back, which I don't want to touch at all. But, I mean, Nix, Sutton even, and Waddle, I'd play all of them. I think they're all week-to-week starters at this point.
Just need Kamara to get released, and then the last puzzle piece will fall into place. So
still don't know if I'd start Kamara in this backfield because of the.
I don't think so either, but for real life football, I think it will be very helpful, especially for Knicks, having that extra weapon. All right, I'll go with Cam Ward, Tennessee Titan. I am projecting a breakout right now. Last year he finished as QB 23. He's getting drafted right this season as QB 22. However, I think it is very important that people realize that he is going to be working with Brian Daboll now. Now, I know what you're thinking. Brian Daboll for New York, I mean, he could never figure it out. I get it. But what we thought of Josh Allen when Josh Allen was breaking out, that could be coming to Cam Ward, because Brian Daboll was the offensive coordinator for Buffalo when those Josh Allen seasons started happening. So I understand Cam Ward's not exactly the same piece-by-piece player as Josh Allen, but I do think that he can get to at least startable numbers as a quarterback this season. I'm not projecting him to be the QB 5 on the year. That's, outrageous. However, is QB 10, QB 11, QB 12 possible? Sure. I don't see why that. I don't see why if you took him potentially as your second quarterback or as a very, very, very late round pick, in the 15th, 16th round, where you wouldn't definitely get a return on your value there. Got Calvin Ridley, got Wan'Dale Robinson, Gunnar Helm. I assume they're going to add even more pieces to this in the draft, because it won't be K or Ao Manor. Well, maybe. We'll see. I don't know. But I just think, like, with the pieces they have in place that they're going to bring in with the new coach, I just feel like it's a recipe for Cam Ward to take a step that is good for fantasy football this season.
I think their wide receiver room is going to be about the same. I still have faith that, even if they do pick at 4, they're not grabbing a wide receiver, I doubt. So
No.
I imagine this is Jeremiah Love or an edge rusher, a linebacker, whatever defensive player they need. Defense needs work, so I wouldn't be shocked if it's a defensive player, but I still am holding out for Love in this offense, just because I think it would add that piece of, like, oh no, there's an untouchable piece on this offense. Like, the wide receiver room is not bad. Like, Wan'Dale, DK, even Ao Manor, and obviously we know what Ridley can be, but like the three of the others like actually showed really well in the end of the season. Well, Wan'Dale at the beginning of the season for the Giants, we know what Wan'Dale is at that point, but Ward was coming on to something at the end, which is what I expect from a rookie quarterback. You throw in these guys who are like not quite ready into a shitty offense, and you're like, yeah, go make something out of nothing. And like Ward kind of did that at the end of the season. And I know everyone's thinking, oh well, here's another Titans quarterback that isn't going to work out. I don't necessarily believe anywhere near Josh Allen or even the conversation of he did for his breakout, but I do think that there's a chance that this guy's good. And I don't know, I'm kind of rooting for it too, man. The Titans I don't think they've had a good quarterback since Steve McNair. I can't name one, but it's been a rough time for the franchise. So,
yeah, it really has. And Cam Ward, you brought up that he came on at the end of last season. He had 4 20-point games in the last 6 games, and they were against good defenses. Seattle, San Francisco, Kansas City, almost had 20 against Cleveland. Like, it was baptism by fire for Cam Ward last year, and he showed out at the end of the year. So give him a full offseason with some new weapons and wheels up.
I absolutely love the baptism by fire, because that is what any of these rookie quarterbacks are whenever you're just like, yep, go play for the worst team in the National Football League, but you're good, so you'll make it better.
Right. Yeah, and then Saleh as a head coach, like, I get that it didn't work with the Jets, but it's kind of appearing that it just may not work for anyone to coach the Jets. And I do think there was some years with Saleh that the Jets were better than they played, I guess is how I would say it. But like, I trust him to build a defense, and I think with Daboll as the offensive coordinator, I don't know. I just like the building blocks to this team. We'll see if they can actually put it all together, but I do like what the materials are to build this thing.
Absolutely.
All right, Josh, who you got?
All right, well, let's start off with one that I don't think should be any surprise to anyone, and maybe it will be just because of the team that he plays on, kind of like Cam Ward. But Quinshon Judkins is due to just explode next year. We didn't think we were going to get him to play. I feel like he was like a free agent in redraft because people weren't even thinking about him, or they were like sitting him on his bench, and all the off-the-field issues. We didn't know exactly what we were going to get from Judkins. And then we got him week 2, and yes, he was a little rusty. He didn't play with this team at all, but he looked great for the first few weeks. Was getting 20 carries. It was great times. And then he kind of hit a lull playing the Iron Curtain, or what's left of it. And then we got a guy who was like okay for the rest of the season. He was like weirdly not startable, but like in a pinch, flex worthy. Still getting like the 20 plus carries, 19 carries, but it just wasn't working the same. And I think it all really came down to the Cleveland Browns did not have a steady quarterback. We were up and down with Joe Flacco, and then it was Shadur and Dylan Gabriel and all the different pieces. Now, I don't know who's going to start at quarterback. I'm not going to pretend like Deshaun Watson's going to be the savior of the Cleveland Browns. But at the end of the day, either Shadur or Deshaun Watson will more than likely be starting for the majority of the season. And I think either are an upgrade for this piecemeal rookie Shador, Joe Flacco, old man stuff. And I just think we'll have a little bit more, I don't know, camaraderie within the team. Judkins will actually be there for camp, and we know the talent is there. We saw it at Ohio State, and we're gonna see it here too. And I'm just stoked. I'm glad I grabbed Judkins over Henderson. I thought I made the dumbest move in the world when he got suspended or whatever. We didn't know what was happening. And then Henderson, I saw him hit that like 250-yard touchdowns, and I was like, I did a bad thing, but. No, Judkins, this isn't even a homer talk. This dude's really fucking good, and I'm sorry, Dylan Sampson's not the answer. We finally got Jerome Ford out of that backfield. This is way less crowded, and Quinshon Judkins' job until he proves he can't do it. I mean, even with Sampson getting touches, he was still getting 16-something targets or touches at the end of the season until he got injured. So, fully healthy, full preseason. This is going to be great for Judkins.
Josh, I love this one. Quinshon, I mean, everyone was super hyped, and then the hype just seemed to fizzle out at the end of the year. Then you had the injury. And, I mean, the big piece here is you got Todd Monken on this offense, right? And Deuce Staley as the running backs coach. So you're looking at a team that is going to run the football a lot based off what their quarterbacks are and what Todd Monken wants to do with this offense. I'm a little concerned about this offensive line, but they were so bad last year that any new people can only help freshen it up. So I think it's going to be a huge test to get that back together, and it might not be a week one hit, but I think by the end of the year, Judkins is going to be a league winner.
Yeah, I like Judkins. I think that he's going to be a fantastic player. I need proof of concept with this Browns offense. I mean, I like him, and he did plenty of good things last season. And you're right, Joe, the Todd Monken piece is a good add for this staff, even though, Stefanski ran the ball like crazy. Monken's not a little bit. I think Monken might be a little bit more creative right now with it. I can definitely see the breakout here. It's just hard with the Browns. Just good things and them just don't go together. But this is a new regime, so we'll see.
I figured you were going to say something along those lines, but Mr. Nick Chubb did it just fine with this.
It's true. It's true. It's been a while, but it's true.
If anything, he actually made the team better because even this wasn't the 0-16 Browns, right? When Nick Chubb was there, this was the 7-8, the 6-10, the 7-10s. He did help this organization. Actually, ever since he left, they haven't won over 5 games. So, really, in reality, I guess he got injured last year. Or was it 2 years ago? I don't even know at this point. But yeah, no, this is very possibly the new Nick Chubb, and that's kind of what we thought it was when he got drafted. And I think that's what we're getting this.
I agree. I agree with you. I know he can be it.
Nick Chubb.
I never thought he would end up with the Browns. I think we kind of maybe thought it, but he can overcome. I believe in him.
Quinshon or Josh Jacobs?
I'd probably go.
I feel like
Judkins.
I gotta go with Quinshon just because
I'd
of
go
the age and the Jacobs injury. It just always happens right when you need him too. Weeks 15, championship week, or wild card week for fantasy playoffs, and Jacobs isn't playing, or he plays.
And Marshawn Lloyd's back, so.
I won a championship because I was playing against Josh Jacobs, and all he needed to do was get 20 points. And yeah, I'm just ignoring the Marshawn Lloyd love. But I literally the guy needed Jacobs to get 25 points, and they pulled him in the first half. I don't trust him at the end of the day for a playoff game, or at least Judkins. He's not going anywhere for the Browns. They're not going to be we should pull him. We should rest our starters.
Yeah, or let's get Dylan Sampson out there. It's no, that's probably not going to happen at all. So,
Josh Jacobs 27th overall, Quinshon 52 overall right now. So keep that in your brain.
Definitely. I definitely believe it.
Steal later.
All right. I am going to go with a fun one here just because I want to do it. So in 2024, Dan Morgan and Dave Canales selected Jonathan Brooks, 46th overall in this draft. Coming out of college, 6.1 yards per carry. Torn ACL late in November in 2023. And then he tears it again in December 2024. He's had a full year to recover. He's apparently been hitting 21 miles per hour in his rehab from this ACL. And he comes back to the Panthers, who honestly have a pretty good offensive setup now, pretty good offensive line. And I'm sorry, Rico Dowdle looked way better than Chuba Hubbard last year, however way you want to dice this. So Jonathan Brooks might come in here and just take that job away. And he's going, 154th now, and going at RB 47, and could be the RB1 on the Panthers for the year.
Now, see, this would have been a homer pick for me. I have Jonathan Brooks in every single Dynasty league I'm in. But let me tell you what I actually think of Jonathan Brooks. Now, I agree with Joe. Like, we got Chuba on like the downtrodden version of himself. I don't know what happened from the guy who nobody thought could do it to the guy who's like, yeah, he can do it, and then he didn't. And then Dowdle stole his job and very efficiently stole his job. And then Chuba just seemed to like not even do good with the complimentary touches. But what I really think of Jonathan Brooks is, and I know this is, you guys are going to be like, oh, Eagles. I really think of him more as like a Miles Sanders. And I don't think this is a long-term, like, amazing career type thing. But we're going to see some flashes at some point. Whether it's this year, whether it's next year, I don't know. I'd love for it to be this year, like I said. Got him everywhere. But I really feel him as like he backed up Bijan. Miles Sanders backed up Saquon, came into the league a year after. And they come in and, have this weird auspicious start, whether they're on the bench, they have injuries, obviously, for Brooks' sake. And I think he's going to have a really good, few years here coming up, and I'm pretty excited about it. Now, the injury is obviously scary. This year could be a little weird, but this dude's good, man. Like, he immediately left, or once Bijan left, he immediately took over the position, did a really good job, and then unfortunately got injured. Like, I mean, it just is what it is. And I don't want to hear he's injury prone. Anyone could tear their ACL at any time, man. Like, it's terrifying and sucks. Like, but at the end of the day, he's healthy. He's running. He looks great. I've seen some clips of him. So, love that pick, Joe.
I've seen some clips. It's a true degenerate right there. Watching Jonathan.
Been watching tape, Josh?
Oh, listen, buddy. I'm always watching tape, man. I'm watching all the degenerate clips on Twitter, man.
I know. He's just like, Jonathan Brooks clips.
Okay, come on. I like where you're moving your hand there, buddy.
Chris walks in the room and he hits the X button real quick. Escape.
He's like,
I was just watching football.
I know. She like turns it around. Jonathan Brooks again? We talked about this.
Is it because he has dark hair? All right, I'm sorry.
All right. Listen, Joe, if it's not now, it's never. I mean, that is clear. That's exactly what it is. Like, I like your gamble style here because this is like, you keep going to the poker table or you keep going to like, was it blackjack? You just keep doubling down and eventually you got to hit one, right? Like one of them's got to happen. So I like the pick from that perspective. Plus, like, Chuba Hubbard is like a Wild West swinging door. Like, that thing could be the RB1 position might as well be an open competition for whoever wants it at this point after what Dowdle did last year, and they just let him walk. So clearly they think someone else on this roster can fight him. I know it's not AJ Dillon. No, heck no, it's not that. So it's either him or the other Etienne, and I'm thinking they think Brooks must be the guy that can show up here. So just please, Turf Monster, let him live just one season, please.
Yeah, I feel bad because the Eagles were the ones who took him out the second time. So,
damn it, Josh.
I got to watch that live. It was great.
Could happen to anyone.
Live enough.
Anyway, I just like if it was a different coaching staff, different GM, I would probably write him off. But this is the same staff that believed in him and got a good chance. He's going behind, Zach Charbonnet, who's probably going to be injured most of the year. Krosky Merritt, who we'll see if Jeremiah Love gets drafted by them. But I would like to take the shot on Jonathan Brooks late in the draft.
Even if Love doesn't get drafted to the Commanders, they're getting a running back, dude. Like, it doesn't matter. They're adding one.
Somebody's going there.
Third guy. Yeah, it's just going to go everything up.
I hate that backfield. If they put Jeremiah Love there, I'm suing. I don't know.
Was it Jerome Ford?
Yeah, they had Jerome Ford too. That's another person in that backfield. It's disgusting.
I actually really like Jerome Ford to lead that backfield right now out of all the options.
Mine as well. I mean, don't like it exactly. Don't like any of the other options, so might as well. Okay. I want to go to Washington since that's already where we're at, and we're going to talk about Chig Okonkwo. Look, this could be completely irrelevant in 10 days when they re-sign Zach Ertz. However, based on the knowledge I have right now, they signed him to a 3-year, $27 million deal. So my assumption is he is going to be the starter there. While Ertz was with Daniels, it was a 66 catches, 750 yards, and 7 touchdowns, earned him tight end 8. Chig last year finished as tight end, I think 20 or 22. And I think that with a healthy Jaden Daniels for an entire season, I like what Okonkwo's upside is with him in that offense. I just really think that he could be one of the most reliable targets for Jaden Daniels. And I like this fit if he's taking over for Ertz. Now, if they sign him Ertz back and then it becomes a muddied tight end room, then okay, this is a completely wrong characterization. However, based on what I know right now, I think this is going to be a good year for Chig, and I think you're going to be able to get him very cheap, and you have upside of a top 7 tight end. I mean, honestly.
Yeah. I honestly already forgot that he went to the Commanders. That's how, like, people are going to forget as well. Okonkwo, we don't really care about him. Whatever. Like, I'm stoked for it because I did see what Jaden Daniels did with Zach Ertz. And I'm just wondering, like, what can he do with Okonkwo, who's a decade younger and probably faster from even prime Zach Ertz? No, it's really exciting stuff. I'm wondering how much of that connection was because it was a veteran. And, I mean, obviously they like Okonkwo. They're bringing him in for a reason. But, like, is that going to be the same connection that we've seen with Zach Ertz? Because it was, like, any desperation, third down and medium or long, it was always Zach Ertz, unless it was, a Hail Mary ball to McLaurin. It's like, I would love to see that same rapport with Okonkwo and see them both healthy for the whole season.
I love the Chig Okonkwo pick. I mean, he was in quarterback hell. He was in Nashville hell. And now he gets to go to Washington with a bright young quarterback. We know Terry McLaurin's getting older. They haven't done anything outside of Chig, at least this far. I'm assuming they will. But, yeah, he has a case for 100 targets. Easy.
They don't even have Debo back yet.
No Debo. No, it's just McLaurin and Chig. And McCaffrey, the other McCaffrey.
No, we're not. Actually, I will say he was serviceable actually late in the season, which was wild.
Has moved up 65 spots this year on drafting. So the public is aware, but they're still not.
I like it. I just think you're going to have your first couple of tight ends taken, the splashy names, the McBrides, the McLaurins, McBride and Laporta. But if you wait on tight end, I think if you pick Chig up, you're gonna like that he is the guy that you picked late. If you didn't get one of the big guys, the Bowers of them all. I think you're going to be happy with picking him.
Gadsden or Chig, assuming Zach Ertz doesn't re-sign.
Chig, 100%.
Chig, although Mike McDaniel does love him some tight ends.
He does. Okay. Does. I think I go Chig, though.
I had Gadsden last year, and I played him, and I lost so many weeks because of him. And it was just like Herbert just decided. I mean, Herbert also just had too many targets, too, or too many options, basically. So at the moment, as we're talking, we got McLaurin, we got Okonkwo, and then we got the running backs, which we know he loves to target as well. I think Okonkwo is going to be in target heaven, at least with this current roster makeup. No, it'd be different if they go and trade for a big name wide receiver or something, or like you said, add Zach Ertz back in, because that's very, very much a possibility. He does want to play, so he does have an injury that was catastrophic last year, though. So I doubt he's being rushed back. So at least you get some early week productivity out of him. So I think it's my turn. I'm going to go with probably the most off-the-wall one we have here, and I think people probably – and I'm sticking to the sophomores here for the moment. I will get out of that soon. But I'm going to talk about Mr. Tre Harris, who had just what we thought was the best opportunity to be the number 2 on the team. We knew Ladd McConkey was it. He was the man his rookie season. And then we thought Ladd was number 1 for sure, and we thought Tre Harris was probably slotting right into that number 2. Well, QJ had a resurgence. They signed Keenan Allen back in early August, right before the season started. So all those people, i.e. me, once again, another person that I drafted heavily, that drafted Tre Harris was like, well, fuck, we got 4 guys now instead of 2.5, which, no offense to QJ, love him. Now the question is, who is gonna be the dude on the Chargers organization that's gonna catch balls? Obviously, we know Murray Hampton's the back. We got Vidal in the backfield as well. We got Gadsden as tight end. Ladd McConkey kind of had a weird off year. We now have, at the moment at least, Keenan Allen relegated of his duties. QJ is one of those guys that's being hyped up right now, but why can't it be Tre Harris? I mean, I know he's not necessarily a speedster, but he's a very tall target, and he did very serviceable in his very limited action. He was getting like 30% snap share and going out there and catching 4 catches for 27 yards or whatever it may be. But no, I just, what a productive college career that he had, 3 straight seasons of 900 plus yards. The only thing I can see here now is if he doesn't make it to something, he's going to end up as a New York Giant. Like, if he doesn't get playing time, the Giants are going to be sniffing around. Jackson Dart's going to want his buddy back. I know he had not a whole lot of targets at Ole Miss, but I am saying that correct, right? That is Jackson Dart's buddy?
Yeah. Yeah, and Jackson Dart's whole game plan was just run around and throw it downfield to Tre Harris. That was literally what got him in the first round. So,
sorry, Billy was making a funny face, so I was just making sure he wasn't like, what the fuck are you talking about, Josh? But yeah, no, I feel like Tre Harris's abilities are not even as niche as people think they are, but it's just one of those guys, because he was running like little slant routes last year, and I was like, why are we doing slant routes with a big dude? Like, I think he gets more of a permanent role in this offense this year, and I think he can take it, man. And like, now I say breakout, he's going in like the 100th. He's pretty much undrafted at this point. This is a free bonus add to your roster. Maybe you can go buy him off the person who drafted him way too high in the second round or late first. But at the end of the day, Tre Harris is on the way up. I don't know how far up, but I feel like this is going to be something we're talking about midseason.
I've tried to trade you for Tre Harris a couple times now. I know you're not going to bite on it, but
you can have him in one of the leagues. Shit.
Yeah, I'll take him. Currently goes wide receiver 73, and Josh, I think you're right. I mean, we really don't have any idea how this is going to shake out. QJ has had some good stats, but he really hasn't looked like a world beater out there. And I think Tre Harris complements Ladd McConkey really well. We'll see what Mike McDaniel wants to do. Maybe we see a Tyreek Hill reunion. I know there was some flames with that, but I kind of felt like he was kind of butting heads with Mike McDaniel. So there's a good chance that this is your wide receiver core going into next season. And I would like Tre Harris to take a good step up.
Yeah.
Good guess.
Sophomores who. So good.
Oh, I'm all in on the Tre Harris comp as soon or in the camp. As soon as McDaniel signed, to be their offensive coordinator, I just feel like he had his pick of the litter. He could have been 4 or 5 different offensive coordinators before he picked Los Angeles. And I just feel like there's a reason he picked this room with the people that they have in it. Now, we'll see if he makes any more additions through the draft or through maybe Tyreek Hill if that happens. But I just feel like you see Tre Harris and you're like, why is this kid not getting used more? And I think that he's going to unlock him like nobody has yet.
Yeah, the mid-round rookies that don't hit and they're going to their sophomore season, those are the oft forgotten about people. Those are the people that can have those big breakout sophomore seasons. I'm thinking more for redraft than Dynasty. Dynasty's already on someone's team. A little bit, probably prime away for draft picks. People get real desperate for draft picks around this time, but in redrafting, he's absolutely free. Like you said, wide receiver 74, so that puts him at what, like 150, like end of the barrel of drafts. Like add him to the bottom of your bench, and you like might have a starter at some point. Like that's wild. I just there's a chance Tre Harris just is that dude finally. And God knows that Herbert could use a guy that could do that. I mean, Keenan Allen's was doing it for years, but it's not the same at this point.
For sure.
I like it, man. You sending some trades out for Tre Harris. So for my next one, I'm just going to preface this by saying it's Matt Nagy, so there's a 48.3% chance that this completely fails. But they just made Isaiah Likely the 4th highest paid tight end in the league on a yearly basis. We got a strong blocker, and the piece that Matt Nagy likes to use in his offense is kind of that utility tight end. Line him up in the backfield, blocker, short passes, and we know Isaiah Likely can do the deep work as well. They just paid this dude a ton of money. We know Malik Neighbors is going to command a lot of targets. They got Darnell Mooney out there, which is a deep threat for this offense. Isaiah Likely, I think, can absolutely clean up underneath the middle of the field here, and I think that fits extremely well with what Jackson Dart has shown us thus far in his NFL career. I know there's a lot of Theo Johnson truthers out there, but there's a reason that John Harbaugh came in here and said, let's go get Likely and familiar with him. I'm sure Matt Nagy had a say in that one as well. So for all intents and purposes, they are going to use the absolute hell out of Isaiah Likely, and he will be the number 2 target on this offense.
I do think they're adding a wide receiver in this room, but I don't disagree with this is going to be Isaiah Likely's best career year. I mean, they're finally out of the shades of Mark Andrews. There's no weird benching or just not using him whatsoever. Like he is your starting tight end, and Jackson Dart is going to need a guy like this to go catch some balls. They didn't really have a jump ball guy per se. Everyone was very small on this team. Wan'Dale Robinson, whatever is left of the wide receiver core behind that. So this could be the red zone target at the end of the day. He could just be getting a bunch of targets and yards. I just feel like the versatility of Isaiah Likely could be he gets 10 targets a game and catches 7 balls for 40 yards, or it could be he catches 3 catches for 3 touchdowns. Either way, you're very happy as a tight end, as a fantasy manager, as having him as your tight end. So yeah, no, this is to the moon, man. Like, this is crazy. I was pretty upset. The Giants really do make good moves. They just always seem to fuck up the rest of it. So we'll see with the new management how this works out for this team.
Yeah, you just have to with Harbaugh that this is a move that he wanted to make. And who knows, maybe the conspiracy theory is true that he made the Ravens re-sign Mark Andrews because he knew he was going to leave after the season. And so, he took one of his toys with him to his next job. I don't know. Maybe there's a little smoke to that fire. I don't know. But I just feel like there's a reason that he wanted to get him on this team. I feel like there's a reason they're paying him that much money. And I think that other than Neighbors for the moment, I think he is going to feast with this team. So pretty excited. I'm very interested to see what they do in the draft because I feel like Harbaugh is a defense drafter. And so I'm curious what that means for the offensive drafting portion of this.
Well, there's no way they don't draft a wide receiver. They're not running in with Malik Neighbors and Darnell Mooney as their starting receivers. I mean,
I wouldn't think so, but again,
it's the best receivers they've had in years.
I don't
probably
know about
true.
The second one. I mean, maybe the one, but ever since their Super Bowls when they had 2 decent guys at least. But yeah, no, Neighbors very good. Mooney, I love him, man. I would love to see it. I thought he would be more in Atlanta. It's been an interesting career journey for him since he left Chicago, or even since he was in Chicago and they stopped using him. So yeah,
they just couldn't hit him. That was the problem. No one could throw him the football.
Yeah, Fields and him never had that connection, unfortunately, except for the 1 year, sort of.
Yeah.
Mooney's only 28. That's a good buy low, too.
I love Darnell Mooney. If we were doing buy lows right now, I'd say Darnell Mooney, especially with the way the roster's made up now. But there's no way they don't add either a veteran wide receiver in free agency. There's plenty of them sitting there, or a draft pick, an early draft pick at that too.
Yeah. Okay, I want to get on to my last one. This is near and dear to Joe's heart, but it's Luther Burden for the Bears. 85 targets vacated when DJ Moore walked out the door. Or, well, technically he was traded, so maybe he was just pushed out the door.
Kicked.
He's getting drafted as wide receiver 20 in PPR right now, 39 overall, which is just on the cusp of our little arbitrary line that we made for this exercise. But I just think you're getting a star this year. I think this is it. This is the beginning of it. Did kind of think that Rome would be when I went into this thinking Rome would be the guy that was drafted high and then Luther was going to be a little bit lower, but it is totally not that way at all. And if Ben Johnson wants to make Luther Burden a quasi Amon-Ra St. Brown, who am I to stop that? Just go ahead and make all of our days. That would be incredible to watch. I would really like to see that. I do think they maybe add one more piece to this room, but I don't think it's going to be a top drafted guy. I think it's going to be a 5th or 6th round guy that they try to work in. And I just think all the signs point to this being a Loveland, Burden, Rome majority room. And I like Burden's chances of sneaking in there and getting a lot of points from Ben Johnson.
Josh, you got anything to say to this?
It's your team, man. I was gonna let you have the
Well,
first
I
swing,
appreciate it, man. Dude, okay, so when they drafted Luther Burden, it was kind of a shock to everybody. One, that he fell to that draft position right there, but two, that the Bears took him, having DJ Moore, having Roma Dunze, who they just invested a first-round pick in. Ben Johnson clearly had a plan for Luther Burden. I think the plan all along was, DJ's going to kill us in the cap space, so let's draft his replacement now and get his rookie season under him. And then everyone saw what Luther Burden did to San Francisco. I think it was like week 15 last year, where he just absolutely torched. I don't think there was any defense played in that whole game personally, but Luther Burden looked really good. And then you got Rome on the other side, who I still think is going to return value. He's probably going to drop down in the rankings by the time August comes around, just because Luther Burden is on this ascension right here. Rome had that foot injury last year. Looked really good, had the injury, played through it, didn't look great afterwards. So I don't think Rome is done, but I do think Luther Burden offers more of a skill set that Ben Johnson is looking for. So I would imagine he's going to be more of your big play guy in this offense. And that's an exciting thing in a Ben Johnson offense. So, Billy, I love this one, and thank you for paying homage to my Bears.
Had to.
All right, well, I'll be the salt and the sand over here, but I don't love this one. I wanted to pick one of these Bears so badly to say that this is the breakout player. This is the one you should draft. This is the dude who's going to go off. These other two dudes are going to do fine, but this is the guy who is going to be the guy. I don't believe it's Burden. I don't know who it is, but I couldn't say with my actual brain to say Luther Burden's going to be that dude next year. He's going to be the next Amon-Ra. Roma Dunze has more time in this system and more time. Well, I say more time in the system. More time on this team. More time with Caleb Williams. And then we got Colson Loveland, who actually looks like the really breakout star material. If I had to choose one, I think lean Loveland at this point over. We saw a Dunze.
I feel like he broke out. The out is broke.
I guess that's fair. I mean, he was tight end 12 or 10 or something like that. It wasn't like he was the dude. So at the end of the day, yes, he's being drafted in Dynasty as broke out, but in reality, did he actually break out? No, not really. He had very good games and very good back half of the season, and even in the beginning of the season, he was doing okay. Also, I think there was a little injuries bug there as well. I still think it could be a Dunze. I think it could be any one of these guys that could be the dude. That's why.
So why does it have to be one? You're tripping me up with that. Why does it have to be one? Laporta and Amon-Ra both 8.
You're saying breakout, so I'm saying that that's why I couldn't choose one of these guys, because I think it could just be all of them getting an even share of targets and catches, and I think if you're buying Luther Burden in the early 4th round and you're getting Roma Dunze for the price of 3 rounds later, then I'm gonna take a Dunze. I mean, Loveland's talk about draft stock. That guy's way up over the moon. I just think Odunze could do it. I mean, he did great until he got injured. So, it's really hard to say that one is better than the other, or this is the dude that you're going to want. Without DJ Moore there, it's going to be a completely different ballgame. I love all 3 of these guys. I think they should all be on fantasy teams, obviously, and you should all draft all of them. But I just think, if I'm drafting here, I think I'm taking the cheapest option and hoping it hits. I don't think Luther Burden in the almost 3rd round is going to hit higher than that.
I hear you. I just feel like the exercise is to take the one. It's not a draft value thing. It's not value breakouts. Roma Dunze getting drafted later may return more value. But I just feel like if we're talking about a breakout star of the year, Luther Burden probably has the best case on the team because, in my opinion, Colson Loveland's already broken out. I think he's already solidified as a top 5 tight end being drafted right now. I don't think that's going to change between now and August. Now, the argument between Luther Burden and Rome, sure. I mean, maybe cheaper Rome is maybe the better play, but I don't know. I just think if we're talking about who's going to be a star next season, I think it's going to be Luther.
I think you're right, Billy. I think Luther Burden's definitely the more versatile piece in this offense, and I think that he is going to be schemed up in ways to make some big plays, make some really impact stuff. Rome definitely is going to be a force. Kind of what he does. He's a good red zone guy, right? And that's what DJ Moore kind of turned into as well. So I think it's just going to be a good mix of players, but I am excited to see Luther Burden in the full-time role.
What?
I'm,
Go.
oh, I didn't. I'm sorry. I don't have anything else to say about Luther Burden and them. My guy.
Oh, that's fine. I was gonna say I thought nice transition to the last person.
All right. Well, you didn't say anything, man. You're just sitting there having dog.
I like Joe. I like Joe having
the.
the last word about the Bears.
That's fair. I don't really personally care. I'm just saying I couldn't pick any of them. I wanted to, but I just didn't have the like gall. Now talk about someone.
Joe, I care about your Bears.
Wild.
Thanks, man.
I do care. I care about the Bears more than you do. Get the fuck out of here, Billy. All right, I'm going to talk about someone who's very anti-Bears, and I've been very anti this player for very many years. And I need to talk about Christian Watson and why this could be Christian Watson's year, and maybe even future giant contract that Packers hand out to him. Don't know. Believe it's a contract year for the man. Needs to go out there and do something, and. So we got out of like average yards per catch or whatever. The greats, the Nico Collins, Terry McLaurin's, JSNs are all averaging right around the 15-yard per catch mark. Well, Watson, even in his like good year that he had this last year, he was averaging 17 yards per catch. And while it's smaller sample sizes for sure, it's not like D-Jack sample size where it's like only deep balls. Like Watson was doing a lot of different things. Now, the first 2 years, my beef with Christian Watson was that Aaron Rodgers just found him standing open, him going, hey, I'm right here, throw me the ball, and it was like it turns into a touchdown. Well, this year, it looked a lot different, and Jordan Love was finding him on go routes, on slants, on hitches, on everything, and it just looked good. Now, the biggest caveat to Christian Watson is, can he stay healthy? And if we're talking draft value, this is one of the kind of sketchier draft value areas. You got Matthew Golden going way late, at least in redraft. You got Jaden Reed going later as well. And then you got Christian Watson kind of in the 50s in that like weird 4th round area. Now, I think with Doubs gone, who was like the dude last year whenever he was at least to start the season, and before Christian Watson, before Reed got back, before Golden even got going, I don't know if he ever did get going, honestly, at the end of the day, but Christian Watson just intrigues me this year. Like, I just feel like, let's say he plays 16 games and plays the full season. You got way less target options. I doubt they're bringing in Malik Heath as they would with Doubs and Wicks. I'm sure Wicks is still there, Reed's there, Golden's there. That's 4 guys instead of 6 last year. And if I had to choose one, it's definitely Christian Watson. Like, I love Jaden Reed. He's really fun and really good. They don't know how to use him. Matthew Golden, they invested first-round draft capital in him, and they barely used him. Like, I just don't know if they know how to use those shifty guys. Like, they need a guy like Davante Adams, like Christian Watson, not saying they're very similar, but just bigger guys to go up there and get the ball, not the shifty guys. I don't know if Love has that, patience at that point to hit those quick slants or whatever it is. So, anyway, I think Christian Watson's going to break out this year, and I think everyone's going to be like, yeah, well, it's about time,
It's definitely going to be like that. No, Josh, I love this call. How many times have we seen it in the past where a guy gets hurt every year and then his contract season, he's just like, oh, I'm fine. I can play through this whole season. No worries. This is one of the oldest tricks in the book for fantasy football. The
Mike Williams move.
Yeah, it really is.
I thought of.
That's exactly what happens. So, I think Christian Watson really has a good chance of breaking out this year, and us seeing what we thought we were going to see this whole time with him. He really saw some good connection with Jordan Love in this offense. So I like that part too. That's just, where he's going. He's, going at 56 right now, wide receiver 29. It's just with the injury history, I'm worried about it, but I absolutely do believe he can break out this year.
I feel like his draft stock will go down. I think that was all the market shifting when Doubs got traded. Like I didn't look at it before Doubs got signed, I guess, before he went to free agency. I didn't look at it like at the end of the year where they were pre-doing the draft rankings or whatever, but we didn't know if Doubs was going to go back there. They're weird. They really like their mid-range wide receivers, but I really feel like what I saw from Watson this year was he looked like a good wide receiver, and I never have thought that in his entire career. And I was like, maybe I was wrong. Maybe he did do something to get open all those times, but it always looked like blown coverage when he's standing in the back of the end zone. I'm hating on Christian Watson. Don't play him. He's not good. And then he'd go out and catch 2 touchdowns standing in the back of the end zone. I'm like, all right, well, what the fuck am I supposed to do about that?
It is true. Players, can get better. I don't know. I said that earlier, but I remember before Davante Adams broke out, he was stone hands, couldn't catch anything. People hated that dude. And then Devontae Adams became Devontae Adams. I'm not going to say Christian Watson's going to be the same way, but I remember before he broke out like what he was. So I don't know. We'll see. It's got to be somebody on this team, right? Like somebody's got to be catching all these balls. Now that they've got one less person, now they probably do end up drafting another wide receiver too on this team. I can totally see that happening.
They really will, dude.
I mean, you just know they're headed for somebody that's lower down the list, like Jacoby Lane or something like that. One of these guys that we're not totally sold on, but or like Ted Hurst. I've heard that dude's name a lot. And I'm like, yeah, that seems like a Green Bay Packer, some guy that's just going to clog up the pipeline here. But I think Christian Watson's the best bet. I think him and Jordan Love have the best connection. So, I mean, you're right. If you're betting on somebody on this team, it's got to be him.
They got to get an actual consistent pass game going too. That's the Packers' problem right now. Is they bank on the run too much, and then it's like, all right, Jordan Love, get that 3rd down and 8. Like, and it's like you can't put that on the onus on.
They just have too many C pluses on the team, and then
which is why Juwan Jennings is going to sign here.
Oh,
100%.
Don't do
it's gonna happen.
It fits so well. I hate it, but it fits. Oh no! Well, that would obviously be dead in the water if they go get someone in free agency. If they go get a rookie, I'm not as worried because like they've shown that they're just kind of filter that 3rd position over and over again, and like you're not sitting any of these top three at this point. It's more of like adding a 4th in there. So I honestly don't think they draft a wide receiver this year. I think their room is fine as it is.
How long of a leash do you think Matthew Golden's going to get? Like, say this year he is exactly the same as he was last year. Are they going to bail?
I don't think so. I don't know though. Maybe they just turn him.
They like never drafted a 1st-round guy, and this is the first guy they do, and it was the opposite of what they wanted to happen when they drafted their first round.
At the end of the day, man, like I'm just looking. Okay, like week 4, he played against Dallas. He went 5 for 6 for 58 yards. He's a deep ball guy. Why did he go 5 catches for 58 yards? Let's just say you just threw him 1 deep ball and it didn't work. You didn't try a second one, or you're throwing quick slants to this guy. Like Matthew Golden is supposed to be your deep ball stretch the field threat. Like if you're not hitting that, he doesn't work. Like. Not only for him, but for everyone else. The whole reason he's on the field is to go down the field and catch a 40-yard bomb so that safeties pull back a little bit, and then you can do a little bit more in the middle. They didn't do that. I don't know if it's Golden's fault. I don't know if it's their fault, but they were doing runs with him and stuff, like which was fun, and it looked cool. You know, he got a rushing touchdown. Oh, super cool. How does that help your team? Like, you could have got a rushing touchdown with any of your players. Like, but you used Matthew Golden to do it. Good, cool.
I consider doing Matthew Golden breakout for this podcast just because of what they paid.
I couldn't allow it to happen.
I don't even know what he was. Was he injured throughout the year? I feel like he missed a bunch of games, but I don't know what happened.
I think they just didn't know. I don't think they had a real good plan for him in the offense. I think it was just like, let's get another receiver. Okay, this guy's fast. All our other guys are kind of slow. This will work. And then they didn't game plan for him. That's what it seemed like as a fan watching the Packers last year. It was like,
well, it's like he had 7 weeks before Jaden Reed and Christian Watson came back to get any sort of momentum going. He had a few games with 5 catches, but it was once again for 50 yards, 40 yards. It's like, what are you doing with your deep ball receiver that you're getting 40 yards on 4 catches?
Yeah.
Screen passes.
All right. Well, before we get off the topic, let's just go around the horn. Is there any guy that you had kind of thought about putting on your list, a guy that you thought about doing a deeper dive in that you would consider a breakout? Just is there any other names you would want to throw out there right now? The floor is open. You can say whatever if you want.
All right. Well, no, I'll talk. Billy shut down my main breakout, and I got at least honorable mention my guy. And that's Javonte Williams. And Billy said he already broke out. He didn't already break out. He broke out. He's what we thought he was, or at least what I thought he was. I don't know how many people gave up on him. The Denver Broncos do not know how to use running backs. We've learned that. Maybe Sean Payton can change that in the future, but at the moment, they have used some weird committee his entire career. And then he finally gets to Dallas, and man, he goes off. Yes. But did he go off as hard as he possibly can? I don't think so. I think the sky's the limit. If this team continues to get better on offensive line and makes their defense better, and then all of a sudden they're not giving up 50 points in a game, Javonte Williams could be going for 50 points in a game. So I think Javonte Williams ends up as a top 5 running back this year. Like, and I don't think it should surprise anyone. I think everyone will be surprised.
Oof. Okay.
I really do. I mean, as long as he
Are
stays
you
healthy,
thinking fireball bet with that, or?
I'll take it.
Okay.
As long as you want to take a Luther Burden, Roma Dunze fireball bet.
Luther Burden finishes higher. Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, no, I just have this feeling Javonte is gonna literally go up from here. I mean, barring an injury, obviously, then that would clearly kill his value. But at the moment, I don't see what's stopping him. There's nothing in this backfield that's even scary to take any. It's not Jaden Blue. It's not Lipke or Malik Davis. Like, I don't know. I know Joe liked Abanaconda, but I don't think that's happening either. So unless they go and draft like the second best,
can't wait for Jeremiah Love.
Well, that's how they get him would be wild. But they're talking about. Well, the thing is, they're also talking about trading away their draft picks for Max Crosby or Grenard or one of these other edge rushers. So if they lose some of these firsts that they have and stuff, then all of a sudden they're not drafting offense; they're only drafting defense. So I don't know. I just have this feeling.
I like it. And if we saw what Javonte Williams did at the beginning of the year last year, he was catching a lot of passes that kind of tailored off at the end of the year. But if he can stay involved in the receiving game, then, yeah, I could see it. I don't know. 5's rich. But top 8, I could definitely see.
Joe doesn't in on that fireball bet. He's like, I don't know, man.
Well, yeah, 5 seems... 5 seems
I didn't know
strange.
I was invited to the fireball bet.
Why not, though? Why not? The man ran for, 1,200 yards last year, 11 touchdowns? Why couldn't that turn into 1,413 touchdowns? I mean, I think that would.
It's just, I don't know. I guess I just didn't see him as like a back-to-back top 12
I think this
guy.
is the Javonte Williams we actually had. He got injured his sophomore season, and then they just committed him. And he was playing with Melvin Gordon his rookie season. Still, was that 2021? I can't remember if it was Melvin Gordon. I know he was.
So if you're on the clock right now and you are staring down the barrel of a Javonte or Saquon Barkley, who are you taking?
Obviously, I'm taking Saquon Barkley.
Okay, well, I mean, only so many spots in the top 5, so I'm wondering
I could take Saquon Barkley and then get Javonte next round, and then I got 2 top 5 running backs.
That's probably true. I don't know. Maybe that maybe could happen.
I think Javonte's going at 30 or something like that.
On Fantasy Pros and PPR, it says 50 something. So,
yeah. Well, yeah. So just because I think he's going to go top 5 doesn't mean I have to draft him top 5. I can get him in the 4th round and be happy with it.
I was just saying who are bumping out of the top 5.
I can see Saquon hitting 6, but I also think Saquon's going number 1. So that's not really a good example for me.
So I'm assuming Bijan Gibbs. Those are definitely 1 and 2. I'm just figuring out where
2 and 3.
Javonte falls in this. Who's number 1?
Saquon.
Man, you're delusional. But whatever, I love it from you. Okay, Barkley's number 1.
How am I supposed to not put Barkley at number 1?
Bijan Gibbs, that's 2-3. So that's 3 of your 5.
Okay.
And then you got Jonathan Taylor or Javonte. Either way,
I think they're very comparable.
Christian McCaffrey or Javonte?
I could probably cut him. Give me 6.
Cut McCaffrey?
Oh yeah, dude, he's gonna have either a split workload or get injured. It's written on the
Devon A-Chain. Devon A-Chain.
A-Chain's number 4, and then we cut McCaffrey
and Jonathan Taylor. James
Jonathan Taylor
Cook
could finish 6. Yeah, 7.
Definitely better than James. Okay.
No, I'm not saying he's definitely better. I'm saying I can see the finish. I could see the finish, at the end of the day.
Okay, you can see the finish. Okay, that's fair. I just wanted to see, because you said 5, so that's easy. I can try to figure that out. If you said 10, I'd be like, okay, maybe 10.
I think my top 5 makes sense there. I mean, yeah, I could see you saying, well, Javonte could be under those 3, but then that's still 8, and that's still what I'm talking about here. But at the end of the day, I could see him vaulting all 3 of them. Jonathan Taylor has had.
That's true. I mean, there's going to be injuries too, obviously.
Yeah, I was going to say, Jonathan Taylor's had super healthy seasons. I mean, I'm not saying that I obviously don't want that to happen. Love Jonathan Taylor. He could have an injury. Christian McCaffrey is an injury. And then, who was the other guy? James Cook? James Cook's not even, it has nothing to do with injury. He could play the entire season and still be running back 10. He's just one of those guys that, it works in fantasy, but, then you look at it at the end, he was running back 14 that whole time.
Okay. I just had to see where we were at there. Sorry,
That's
Joe.
fascinating.
I'm really glad we did that because
you're good.
That confirmed that, like, I think Javonte could be number 5.
It's fascinating.
I just don't see it, but okay. I mean, it's fair. Again, there's going to be injuries, so anything's possible.
Okay. I just got 2 guys that I'm going to glance over quickly here. Jaylen Noel is a guy that I think could break out this year. Christian Kirk was starting in his spot, and I think everyone is very obsessed with Higgins after what we saw from him last year. So I think Higgins and Nico are going to be very, very overdrafted for what they are. But with Kirk getting out of there, there's a really good chance that Jaylen Noel kind of soaks up a lot of targets in this offense. Really liked what he did coming out of Iowa State. I think he's a very talented receiver, and he's currently going at 231 on Underdog right now. He's wide receiver 94. I'm going to take that shot all day in like the 16th round of my draft. And, just wait for him to get me wide receiver 3 numbers. I think that could easily happen. My other guy is Keaton Mitchell. Awesome running back at 8 yards per carry his rookie season. Almost 6 last year, and he goes with Mike McDaniel offense, who, I don't think Omarion Hampton's getting 100% of this workload. If we could see 40% of this go in the direction of Keaton Mitchell, we could have absolute fireworks on this offense with him. So
are the Harbaugh bros just going to keep transferring players back and forth? Like, are we ever going to see the Ravens Giants trade? Like, I it's got to come, right? Or not Ravens, sorry, Chargers.
Giants, yeah. I mean, it probably will happen. Definitely could see it happening.
Because, like, him signing Keaton Mitchell was like, yeah, you liked my brother. Like, I want you on my team, too. I love Keaton Mitchell, honestly. I have no problems. I didn't know we were doing, like, deep sleepers here, man. I was talking, like, I guess I probably should have put the Tank Dell, or not Tank Dell.
No, that's fine. I mean, like, Hampton would have been a one that, like, it doesn't fit our criteria, but he could definitely break out and be
I thought about talking about
Hampton,
but honestly, I don't have faith that he goes above 30, like, top 30 player. Like, I mean, he'll be a top 15 running back, but, like, it feels like that team wants to use multiple running backs. We saw it with them bringing in Najee. We saw it with them using Vidal last year. I mean, obviously Hampton was injured, but, like, he didn't go away after Hampton came back. I think they want to use 2 guys there. So Hampton's going to be fine. I think you're going to get great, like, you're going to get the value back that you draft him at, or, maybe in Rookie Dynasty, it's, you're still getting a top running back asset out of the draft, so it's fine. But, yeah. Billy, what do you got?
The only one I want, and this is like I just need people to log into like their Fantasy Pros accounts, and it's Romeo Doubs. Like, he's still ranked like 130 or 140 or something on Fantasy Pros. But, like, why hasn't it already? It's been a couple weeks now. Like, I think we need to maybe get that account maybe back up and running and get things changed. So he's like below Debo. He's below Jaden Reed. He's below Jaden Higgins, who we just talked about. He's below Jakrowski Merritt. Like, I don't know. I just feel like he should be much higher than that. I feel like he should be in the 7th, 8th round.
I completely agree with you. I feel like you say that now, and then we're going to get to redraft, and you're going to be like, what the nobody's drafting him that high. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to be like 4th round guy, and we're talking Romeo Doubs in the 4th. Like, so, yeah, I think it's just really just off season, and people are all waiting for the draft to actually get their rankings right. They don't like doing this prior to the draft before people get fallen because they don't want to be wrong. I don't care if I'm wrong. I want to tell you what I think.
He's a $20 million receiver. He better not be 145 or whatever.
Even if they go get AJ Brown, he still needs to get 1,000 yards this season. Like, that's like a
that should be bare minimum. Like, I don't get, like, I don't know. I just, like, this ranking doesn't make any sense because we've had a couple weeks now. Like, let's get these rankings updated, fellas.
I'm agree. Joe, you got any Romeo Doubs love or hate?
No, man, I was trying to think of a similar, like, assuming they bring someone in, I was trying to think of like a player that Romeo Doubs might have a similar season to. And I was thinking, and this is way high end, I don't think it's going to get there, but I was thinking like a T. Higgins type season with 10, 12 touchdowns, 800 yards or something. I think that's very in the realm of possibility. And if you're getting him, like if you were doing an underdog draft right now and you're getting him at pick 104, that could put you over the top. So, I mean, I'm a huge Doubs guy. Ever since that signing, I've been beating the drum for him.
Yeah, there's 2 options with Romeo Doubs. He is the wide receiver 1 at the end of the day, and they go get a veteran or, Keenan, bring in a Keenan Allen to get 700 yards or whatever it is. Or they bring in A.J. Brown, and that's, been written in the stars or whatever, and he's the number 2. Well, there are plenty of number 2s who can go out there and do it. Devontae Smith with A.J. Brown. Addison, like you said, T. Higgins, like, that are still going out there and getting 800-plus yards with 8 touchdowns or whatever. Like, he needs to at least do that, and that would put him at, like, at least 60, 70 in the draft, like, stat-wise, depending on catches and stuff. But, yeah, no, I mean, I think he's going to get the bump, especially once we get more clarity past June 1 when the A.J. Brown stuff gets over with, plus the draft when we get another rookie in there, because I think they're going to add another receiver even if they get A.J. Brown. I think that'll be really telling, because if they draft one in the second, or the first for that matter, then they're probably not getting A.J. Brown. But if they draft one in the third, fourth, they're probably getting him. So it's like one of those things that's going to be really fun for at least an Eagles fan to stop hearing about fucking A.J. Brown. I had like 3 more, but it's all kind of in the same ballpark. If we got the time,
we have time. I only have one more thing after this.
Okay. So my main one was really Mike Evans, but then they got me thinking, because I think Mike Evans is gonna fucking kill it in San Francisco, and with Kittle not really gonna be ready at the beginning of the season, I imagine Evans gets that rapport with Purdy, and they have no one else other than Pearsall. And I'm still not even 100% Pearsall's gonna be that dude ever at this point. Like, he might just be one of those fun role players, like the guys who we love so much, Kendrick Bournes and the Jordan Matthews is. And hate to bring it back to the Eagles, but I always do. So anyway, Evans, like, obviously I think he's gonna have probably potentially the best season of his career. He's the new shiny toy. It's fun. So I wanted to do him, but I also started getting me thinking about Godwin and Egbuka, and I was like, I can't pick either one of those. Like, I couldn't. It was the same Roma Dunze, Luther Burden conversation. Like, I think that either one of them could go off for 1,400 yards this season. Like, I'd love to see Godwin have a fully healthy season. We finally vacate these targets to Mike Evans that, like, Godwin's been, like, living under the shadow of Mike Evans' entire career. I could see Godwin just absolutely going off. But then on the other hand, I could see Egbuka torching as well, because he looked great in the beginning of the season and then weirdly fell off. So, and then you got Jalen McMillan coming in to be the touchdown guy. So, like, I don't know, man. Tampa Bay just excites me. Like, even Gainwell being on that team, like, I know it sucks for fantasy for Bucky Irving managers, but, like, at the end of the day, like, this is a fun team, dude. I wish they would have went and got Kenyon Sadiq instead of re-signing Kate Otten, but hey, thanks for leaving him in the draft pool for everyone else.
No, for sure. I'm so excited for Mike Evans. That is
Stoked.
He's going to be my wide receiver too, I think, on every single team. Very much looking forward to that. Send one up to the fantasy gods, keep them healthy this year. And then, the Chris Godwin and Egbuka thing is interesting. They both could have monster seasons. We saw Chris Godwin, was hands and away on his way to being wide receiver 1 by a long shot 2 years ago. And then he got hurt. And then Egbuka last year looked awesome. And then all of a sudden they were like, he's going to miss like 6 games because he's super injured, probably going to go on IR. And then they were like, oh, wait, no, he's fine. He's going to play next week. And he was never the same player after that. So probably just should have sat him and gone from there. So it will be interesting to see how that shakes out between those two guys.
Yeah, the one time I've ever had Chris Godwin was that, 6-7 weeks of amazing godly performance by Godwin. Finally over the Evans shadow, and he got injured. It's brutal.
Yeah. Also, I think an interesting storyline this season for the Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield is a free agent in March of 2027. I'm interested to see what they do. Would you give him I'm the biggest Baker Mayfield lover in the entire planet. Would I give him 5 years, $250 million, $50 million a year? I don't know. I don't know, dog. I love him to death. It would be awesome as a fan.
He came off the Super Bowl with Brady, and then Baker comes in and it's this weird stagnation. We win the NFC North or South, but by a hair most of the time, and it's then we do nothing in the playoffs. Sure, they play spoiler here and there, but it's they're not making the 13-4 run where they have a chance to be the
not with the
seed.
defense as it's currently constructed.
Yeah.
That's where it is.
Is it Baker's fault at that point though?
Right. It's not. It's not his fault that the team is so poorly constructed financially that he would have to take a discount in theory to make this work. And that doesn't make any sense for him. He took the discount initially when he took this contract because of where he was at. So his next contract, he should be getting paid.
in theory, don't know the salary cap construction of the Buccaneers, but in theory, you lost Mike Evans. You don't have to pay him, $20 million a year anymore. You don't have any of your like big star veteran defense players that you had as like the hangover of the Super Bowl and the big Bucks D from 10 years ago. I mean, even Levante David just retired, right? Like, who are they paying? Like, I mean, obviously,
That's a good question. I'm sure Joe's looking it up.
Too much money. Like, I'm assuming offensive line and defensive line players have some salary cap holdouts. Is Carlton Davis still there making a little bit of money? Like,
so Baker's getting 40. Tristan Wirfs is getting 36 mil. Godwin's getting 33 mil. Antoine Winfield 27. Vita Vea 22. And then after that, it's kind of just, I mean, they're not really paying anybody, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you should be able to build a team here, but I don't remember them doing anything crazy in free agency either. So, and signing Cade Otton when there's all these tight ends out there, like you could have switched up and got Likely. You could have went and got.
He's still pretty cheap though, even with the contract he signed. No, for
sure. It was definitely a mid-range like deal or whatever. Which he's a very mid-low range guy, so like that makes sense. I like Cade Otton. He seems fun, and it seems like he should do better fantasy-wise, but he's more of just a good for the team player, which, like, you don't really need pass catchers at that point. You're looking for blocking tight ends. I get it. But, I don't know, like, where's your money at, dude?
I don't know, but they need to...
We'll get into that with game preview.
Fix that team. All right, the only thing I have left is, I don't know if you guys saw on Twitter today, but Mike Clay put out the annual purge of the fantasy football database from ESPN. And I just wanted to read through some of the names of the legends of past that are no longer in the ESPN database, because the names on here, some of these are just gold. Julio Jones, Jimmy Graham, Melvin Gordon, Leonard Fournette,
second time
Devontae
been mentioned.
Parker, I know. It's wild in 2026. Ryan Tannehill, Randall Cobb, Latavius Murray, Kenyon Drake, Jerick McKinnon, Michael Gallup, Matt Breida, Chase Claypool, Darrell Henderson, Damian Harris, and Rashad Penny. Damn. All taken out of the ESPN database.
Isn't Chase Claypool trying to play in the XFL right now?
He was trying out for Canada. I don't know whatever happened with that.
No. I'm still trying to sell Matt Breida as a sleeper. So I think I've been doing that since 2013. It's just in my head.
Is he your Marlon Mack?
Yeah, he's my Marlon Mack. Is the Matt Breida. I remember every year, man, it was like, oh, Matt Breida is finally going to get an opportunity this year. And it just, it never happened. But
I just remember Darrell Henderson always floating around free agency. I just feel like Sean McVay would sign him tomorrow. Like, say one of their guys goes down. I just feel like Darrell Henderson signed by the Rams for a 1-year deal. I could totally see that.
What was the random season where Darrell Henderson just went off? Remember that? He was like,
I do. He had like 1,000 yards that season. It was like, what is happening?
It was a guy we got in like the 14th round. It was like, I'll take him. Holy shit.
Chase Claypool 5 days ago posted on Twitter, back soon. So I don't know, man. Maybe it was a little premature for ESPN.
Maybe premature.
Joining the Packers.
He's only like 30 as well.
Yeah, he's got to be.
He's not even old.
But I will say, I was thinking about this the other day.
Some of these dudes are old, but he's not old.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's sad sometimes to see you're 29 and you never did it, so we're not giving you another shot. You know what I mean? Like, it's sad to see the business side of football where it's like we're not even gonna try. Like, although I believe Chase Claypool had a bunch of off the field issues or personal drama that he always brought to the teams. So a little bit of a diva, as they say. We know a couple of people like that. So
for sure, I'm still confused what happened to Tannehill too. By the way, like he was going to take a gap year, and that gap year has been like 3 years.
I feel like he should have been able to come back with all these shitty veterans that are coming back. I mean, Phillip Rivers should not be playing football anymore. Like, no offense to him, great football player throughout his career. And then Joe Flacco's still playing somehow. Like, I mean, he's doing a decent job of it at the very least. It's a veteran.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, that is all I have got on this episode, unless you guys have some extra points here at the end.
Just DJ Moore. He's breaking the hell out for the third time.
Oh, my God. Here we go again. with the.
That's why I didn't
DJ
include
Moore.
him in this list.
Well, does
I'm
it
proud
count
of
as a
him.
breakout player if he's already broken out before? Like, we've already used him as a breakout player. Can he re-break out? We can do a re-breakout pod.
That would be a good pod.
Well, we were gonna do T.J. Hawkinson as a re-breakout, so I guess like he was on the short list in the beginning.
I think
of
that
our
would count as a
thoughts for this.
breakout because he's had some down years, man.
Yeah. The rebirth.
The rebirth of Hawkinson. I think that's a good one. Actually, it's fine. We did talk about him, but Hawkinson has a chance to, if we actually get Kyler starting this whole year, he has a chance to be that dude, man. Like, Mark McCarthy and these other guys did not use him. I don't even know why they traded for him.
Doesn't make a lick of sense. All right, next week we are doing the. We'll see if this idea works, but we're going to do the Shark Tank episode. We are going to present trades to each other and see if the other two sharks would accept the trade or deny the trade. Joe, get us out of here.
Good night.